Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is Bea, and you're part of Bea-Keeper of Plants. If you're new here, welcome. And I thank all of my goats who have been with me since the beginning. My channel is growing thanks to you and all of my new subscribers. For that, I am eternally grateful. In today's video, guys, I am going to share with you a lot of plants. Some will be tropical, some will be Hoyas, and I want to share the magnificent growth that these plants have had since I've had them. Speaking of the Hoyas, let me tell you, I have so much growth on those Hoyas. I can't wait until spring 2026. I should get some blooms on some of them. And I'll tell you two things that I've done. I use the Flower Girl Bud and Bloom Booster fertilizer on them. I use that fertilizer, and I also use the Orchid fertilizer spray on the Hoyas, and they are growing beautifully. Now, on the Hoya carnosus, one is the tricolor and the other one is just the green one. I don't spray the orchid spray on them, only because soon as I spray it, the leaves turn yellow and they drop. For some reason, those Hoyas do not like the orchid spray. But for the rest of them, I spray them. Actually, I just mist, and I mist them every first of the month. So the first week of each month, I spray all of those Hoyas down. And so I wanted to share that with you. And then also on some of those tropicals, they're growing too. And I'm just happy about that. I don't know about you. Sometimes we buy plants and we repot them, and it takes about a month, at least in my care, about a month or so before I actually begin to see a new leaf growing or anything like that that's happening on top, because all of the action is happening inside the soil. So it just takes some time. So with growing plants, as you know, we just got to be patient. We have to be patient. Some plants grow faster than others, but we still have to be patient. So I want to share this with you today. It's a great day to share with you. It's early and I'm excited. So if you're excited to see not only beautiful growth and a peek at some of the new little buds that are forming and some of the new little leaves that are coming, you stay tuned, because I think you are going to enjoy this video. Okay? Green thumbs up. Let's go. The first plant I want to share with you, because I have two sets. I have tropicals and I have Hoyas. And so in no specific order, I'm just going to start showing them to you. The first plant, it is a Hoya. Okay, this is a Hoya macrophylla. And I have featured this Hoya in several of my videos. And what's so special about this particular Hoya is it is really growing profusely. In one of the videos, this particular tendril here actually broke. This one here actually broke. I ended up taking the tendril, putting it in water, growing water roots, and then repotting it back in the plants, in the pot, and look at it. It is growing. Not only is it growing, but you see it has a new offshoot there, and it has a new leaf that's growing there. And that's from me taking it, water propagating it, and putting it back in its pot. And let's look at some of the other leaves that are growing. That's a new leaf there. And I'll tell you how you can tell the new leaves. The outer variegation is a light yellow, like a neon yellow. That's a new leaf there. That's a new leaf there. Here's another one there. Inside the pot, you can see right there, okay, a new shoot that's coming up out of the dirt, okay? Can you believe that? And then we have a new offshoot growing from there. What can I say about this plant besides it's growing so beautifully? To me, a Hoya macrophylla is a very easy plant for me to grow. It's growing so beautifully. I keep the soil nice and moist, especially when it begins to dry out. I spray it, like I say, each month with my orchid spray, and it has grown nicely. I am looking very forward to seeing some blooms on this spring 2026. So you stay tuned for that, because I will share that with you if that happens. Okay, the next Hoya that I would like to share with you is this one here. This is, let me gently get it for you. This one here is a Hoya globulosa. Let me tell you about this particular Hoya. When I purchased it, it took a minute for me to begin to see anything on its leaves. I wasn't seeing nothing. And I continued to water it. What I wasn't doing, I wasn't keeping a consistent watering on this plant. Once I started watering this plant consistently, making sure that not that I keep it sobbing wet, but just keep it nice and moist, this plant has taken off. So let's look at its growth, okay? This is a new leaf here that has grown for me, and you see all of the little roots that are coming from the stem. More than likely, some of those will turn into leaves, okay? So that's a new leaf there. And look at the new leaves here, okay? So I'm going to try to turn it without breaking it. So let's see if I can turn it just gently for you. Can you see it? Two new leaves growing, and then the top is growing as well. This Hoya globulosa is really pretty. I love the leaves. I love the ruffled edges on this plant, and it's very fuzzy. Okay, you would think that this plant wouldn't take a lot of moisture. It does. It likes it. And what I have found in my care is once I started consistently watering this plant, that's when I began to see the most growth. And you can also see right underneath the leaf there, there's another leaf that's emerging. So this Hoya is growing well in my care, and I love it. The next plant that I'm going to share with you is not going to be a Hoya. Instead, it's going to be a Scindapsus. This Scindapsus is a very old Scindapsus. It followed me from Texas, and I had a very difficult time trying to discover exactly what it needed. To my amazement, it enjoys being moist in my care. And so I have begun watering this a lot, and it absolutely loves it. So let's sit back and admire how pretty it is. These leaves here, you see how it's extending? It has done that since spring. It has. This plant was not full like it is currently. And I'm going to share with you some of the new growth points on this plant. Let me take some of these little plates out. Okay, the first growth point that you will see, you see where the stick is? You will see that there's a leaf appearing. So that's one of them there. The second one you will see is here. It's getting ready to grow another leaf there. Okay, this is a new leaf here that has since come out. And right here on the side, you can see that there's another leaf. If you can see, it's right there. It's very close to the stem, so you may not be able to see it. But there's a leaf that's getting ready, to come out. This is a new leaf here. This one right there is a new leaf. So it's growing well. If I wanted to propagate it, I could, because it has a root node there. But I'm not going to propagate it. I'm going to continue to let it grow and grow bushy for me. So this is a Synogonium exotica. And I love the leaves. The leaves are so pretty. Real pretty. And it fits very nicely in this pot. Of course, this is a 𝗏𝐞𝐿, but inside is a plastic pot. So it's growing very nicely for me in its home. And like I said, I keep the soil moist, and indirect light is what I do for the Synogonium exotica. The next plant I'm going to share with you is going to be my Synogonium Pink Allusion. I remember when I first bought this plant, and I wanted to begin purchasing plants that had maybe wavy leaves or different leaf color instead of just green. And I remember when I featured this plant in one of the videos, and it wasn't this bushy. I have this Synogonium in a self-watering pot. And so I'll put a little water at the bottom. I'll let the gauge get to that. It'll rise to that level there. As you see, you do not see the gauge because I don't need to water it right now. Okay? So I want to share with you the beautiful leaves. The leaves are a soft pink color. And in order for me to keep this color, you see this one here is unfurling. Isn't that pretty? In order for me to keep the color, I have to make sure I put this plant in light. Not direct light, but enough light that is going to keep its pink color. Underneath here, you can see all of the new leaves that are growing. Going to continue to turn it. And I love not only the leaf color, but I like the texture of the leaf. The leaf is kind of thick. It's not a very thin leaf. It's kind of thick, so I like that too. And that helps me also to remind myself that sometimes you don't have to keep it too moist. Okay, and so I like that it doesn't have to actually stay moist, a consistently moist plant, but it needs moisture. Let's look at this new leaf here. Look at that. That's a brand new leaf. Inside, there are more brand new leaves. I mean, just a peek at how beautiful these plants are growing for me. I am so excited about that. Just a peek at the growth. So if these plants have taken off like this in the spring, I can't wait to see how well they do for me this fall and through the winter. Because I tell you what I'm going to have to do, and I may have mentioned this already, and you've heard it. I'm going to have to get some plant mats, some plant heat mats, and I'm also going to buy a small heater for this plant room because it gets extremely cold here in Illinois, and with the snow and the wind gust, yeah, it's cold. And so here I'm going to do 3 things, and I'm going to share those things with you when I buy them. I'm going to get some heat mats. That's one thing. I'm going to get another humidifier for the plant room because I notice when I run my humidifier, the humidity goes up in this room. And I'm also going to buy a small little heater for this plant room. All of that for the winter. Let's continue. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay, sit this one over here too. How have your plants been doing? You know, the plants that you're growing, share that with me. And what are you growing? Are you growing more outdoor plants or are you growing indoor plants? How are your plants doing? Especially since it's been so hot and it is October and it's still rather warm outside here. So what is it looking like with you and your plants? Let me know in the comments. I would appreciate that. The next plant that I'm going to share with you is a Hoya, and it is a Hoya freckle splash. Now, it's splashy. I've seen some that are more splashy than this one, but this has enough splash for me, and I like it. When I purchased this particular Hoya, I got it from Home Depot. I'll never forget when I saw it and I saw the freckles, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, this is kind of rare. You hardly see them. I purchased this early spring, and it has grown profusely. Okay, it was not this bushy, and you know that it was not this bushy. Okay, I've had to since repot it. This tendril that's on this hoop here has grown, and you can see I'm getting a little hang time here. So let's look at the new growth. Okay, this tendril here has a new growth there. That's one. You see that leaf that's coming out? Here's another leaf that's growing there. That's a new leaf that's emerging. And this is one tendril with this second tendril here that I say is giving us some hang time. It's going up. Let me take the butterfly clip off and show you what I'm talking about. It's very heavy. This is a tendril that is very, very heavy. So hold on one second because I don't want another moment where I break a new growth like I did with the Hoya. What was this? The Hoya macrophylla. So hold on. These tendrils can get so tangled up. So hold on, I'm being very, very careful. Because these new leaves are so fragile. Okay, all right. So let's look at this tendril here. I'm gonna bring it up for us. This tendril here, let's look at it. Look at all of the new growth there. You see a leaf that's emerging, and look at the tip. Look at that tip. Growing nicely. And then if I bring it up, more growth. So, and it's very heavy. That's why I had it clipped. So I'm gonna go back and clip it again so we won't break anything. This part here that's hanging, you can see that it is extending as well. So I actually have 3 tendrils on this Hoya freckle splash, which is growing quite well. There's nothing but a lot of bushiness inside the pot. I love it. I love it. And I have it not in a cash pot. This is not an outer decorative pot. It is actually potted inside this pot. I needed to do that because it was growing so much so that the roots were coming out of the pot from Home Depot. Hoya's Freckle Splash. I think if you find one, you should buy it because it grows well. And you know another thing I would like to say? I do have a few pests like mealybugs. I do. But what I have found here is I don't have a lot that are attacking my Hoyas and other plants. And when I do see them, they're only on a few of the Hoyas and not many. And I really try to keep them at bay. I really do. And usually, I don't know if you would call this, you know, but I'll pinch it off and it's done. If I see more mealies, I'll use my spray, which is water, alcohol, and a little bit of dishwashing soap. Shake it up and spray it, and they go just like that. And the mealies really like the Hoya carnosus. That's who they're in love with. And they like anything that's new. If it's a new emerging leaf, yeah, you'll see them there. But other than that, I don't have a lot of mealybugs, and I'm so thankful for that because they are aggravating. So let's sit the Hoya carnosa down, and let's get to our next plant. This plant here that I'm going to show you, it's a Hoya. I love this plant. I'll never forget when I saw it in Home Depot. I like it for 2 reasons. Not only is it's a pretty Hoya, but also it has 2 different colors. It's a pink and green Hoya. Look at this Hoya. Look at the leaves on this Hoya. And the stem is a deep maroon colored stem. This is such a pretty Hoya. And for real, if it never blooms, I really don't care. It's a beautiful Hoya to have in your collection. The pink and green. It has grown like gangbusters. This Hoya has just taken off. And like I said, the spray that I use, the orchid spray, and the bud and bloom booster from Dr. Earth, loves it, loves it, and it enjoys being watered. So let's look. Let's see, where do I begin? This is a new tendril that's growing, and the leaves that are growing here. And it has the tip, you can see right there. It's growing a tip, it's extending. These 3 pretty pink leaves here are new, so they're growing for me. And the part that I'm most excited about is this new part here. I have 2 leaves emerging, the point is growing, and a new leaf here. Look at this leaf. Let me turn the plant around. Isn't that pretty? Look at the outer edge. It's a darker pink, like a fuchsia. That is a gorgeous leaf there that's emerging. I think it is so pretty. I love it. And then it has all of this that's growing as well. It's extending from what I just showed you. Inside the pot is a new leaf. That's a new leaf right there. And I think you're able to see, let's see, the burgundy. Can you see the burgundy? Isn't it pretty? It is so nice. I love this plant, I do. And the blooms on this one is a maroon color bloom. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Wow. And this one here sits, it really does get direct light, micro light, and it loves it. It loves being watered, it loves being sprayed, and it loves the direct light. It's very pretty. Very, very pretty plant. Okay, set that down. Let's look at another plant. You've never seen this one. I've never really featured it. Okay, and I cannot tell you what it is. I think it's some kind of philodendron, I believe. But look at the stripy type leaves that you see. Isn't that beautiful? It is so pretty. And since I've had it, it just grows. It grows. I've had this plant a very long time. This leaf here, when it doesn't get enough water, yeah, it'll turn this color, or when I give it too much water. So let's look at all of the new growth. It has done a spurt of new growth. Look at all those new leaves. Just beautiful growth. And you see I have 3. You see 1, 2, 3. But this right here in front, right here, that's a new plant. So I really have, and this one here is a new plant. This has sprung up all by itself. This right here. Can you see that? So I have 5 plants within this pot, and I'm not going to separate anything. Some more new growth. This one right here, this leaf right here has, look at that new growth there. Inside the tallest plant where the stick is, You see, that's new growth. And all of that is new growth. This plant is growing nicely. I can't wait to see it become bushier. This plant can grow extremely wide in its circumference, and it can grow tall. So that's why I'm not going to take it out of its pot. And it likes to be moist. I make sure I keep it moist. It enjoys moisture. I love this plant. If you know the name, I think it's, like I said, I think it's a philodendron. Let me know, okay? So I can go on and label it. The last two plants that I am going to share with you came from an Aroid unboxing video. And I am going to share these two plants with you because they're growing so nicely. I have since repotted them, and one you will see that is repotted. The other one you will see is rooting. One is a tropical, the other one is a Hoya. So let's look at the tropical plant first. This is my Scindapsus Halfmoon. If you go back and look at the video, you will see it came with these 3 leaves. Okay? Well, what is so neat about this plant is that I am getting a new growth, guys. Look at that new growth. Yes. And I have since potted it up in this plastic cup. I don't know if you can see the roots, and the roots are just growing so nicely. Yeah, they haven't made it to the bottom yet, but it's growing because I have a new leaf that's emerging. When I saw that, it's like, I need to share this with you, because I was very afraid for the plants that I had received in that unboxing, and it's growing so nicely now. So it's enjoying its home. I also keep the soil nice and moist for it, and it gets indirect light. Growing well. Scindapsus Halfmoon. Pretty soon, I'll have 4 leaves. Okay, that's one. And then the last one, guys, is my Hoya. This is the Hoya, right, that we had gotten. The Hoya Multiflora. And let me tell you a backstory about it. Gotten it in the unboxing for Aroidasia. Gotten it. It had 2 nice long stems, and each stem had a bunch of leaves on it. It came flat. All of the leaves were very flat and dehydrated. I tried to hydrate the leaves to no avail. It didn't work. They fell off, so I threw them away. The only thing that I have kept that's doing well is just one stem, guys, and the leaves are hydrated. Now, what's so special about it? Let me show you. Can you see it? Okay, it's budding up. It is budding up, guys. Look at that peduncle. It is budding up. Let's look at the next one. If I turn it to the side, look at those buds. Turn it to the front, look at those buds. Let's see. budding up. And the initial cut was September 5th, and the second cut was September 16th. I'm going to take it out of the water. I will show you. There are no roots as of yet. No roots as of yet. I change the water at least every 2 weeks. This is what it looks like underneath. Okay? And we will see what happens. Even if these buds blast, it's okay. I'm really waiting on roots to grow. And I'm thinking that definitely by spring of 2026, it's going to have some roots. And then I can repot it. But in the meantime, this thing is saying, girl, I don't need roots for me to form buds. That is awesome. I cannot believe it. Plants amaze me. They do. You would think that this Hoya multiflora really needs roots. For whatever reason, it's doing its thing with just water and no roots. Amazing. Amazing. So I will keep you informed with that Hoya multiflora to see exactly what happens. And so you might see it again before spring 2026. Well, guys, I tell you, I have enjoyed this video with you. I enjoy sharing my plants with you. I enjoy sharing exactly what's happening with these plants. What am I doing that's helping them to flourish in this plant room? And I want to know, what are you doing with your plants to help your plants flourish in your home or either outside? I would like to hear that. Tell me, which plant did you like the most? Or which one of the plants you're thinking about buying for yourself? If you don't want to leave a comment, leave me a bumblebee to let me know that you got to the end of this. I would greatly appreciate it. Once again, I enjoy spending my time with you and talking about my plants. Thank you once again for just being a part of my journey. I appreciate you. Until the next video, bye-bye.